Um, so first, thank you guys all for joining and adapting to the situation. So we are alive in a really interesting moment where we are being asked to be really flexible and see what we want to hold on to and what we want to let go of. And it's a really interesting time to be working with this project. And one of the lessons that I've been learning from water is how to adapt and when to actually change my circumstances, like to smoothen out a rock, and when to be guided by the flow of the rock. And so the event that you are experiencing was originally designed to be in a black box room with, really high quality sound and really pristine kind of artificial lighting. But in a way, this has been a blessing in disguise to be able to be out in the elements and to be able to celebrate in a really playful way, right? Hearing the sounds around us and enjoying. And this being said, we also recognize that there are ways that we need to adapt to our situations. And so given the current health climate and the concerns, we've done our best to cleanse the space that we'll be working with. And we also have multiple stations to kind of sanitize your hands, certain wipes, and there are bathrooms that have been cleaned, and one is designated for us with running water and soap. And just also being mindful about the level of intimacy, physical space that we offer other people, and then if we are touching something, to be sure to use a spray or a wipe. So just wanting to offer that reminder. And I've been working with water in a kind of metaphorical way as a way to understand learning and change. And I've been doing a lot of work with creative learning within the formal education system over here at ASU. And I've seen water as a way to understand the complexity of life. And when we are working in educational systems, we're actually working with life, right? We're inheriting the responsibility of somebody else's learning process. And so water has been this metaphor that I can work with to understand how complex, both the life within us and the life outside of us is. And so the structure of the showcase is, there will be these interactive exhibits, which we really encourage you guys to go and get a taste of what you can. And then there will be performances happening at certain moments. So our first kind of performance is at 4:30. Then we have one at 5, 5:40, and 6. And this will be ish, right? 5:40-ish. But our goal is to kind of wrap things up before it starts to get a little darker and cooler. And the light in the pavilion is a really awful noise, makes a really awful noise, so we want to avoid that. But so you'll be having this time to kind of float around, and then you'll hear a bell. And that bell will be coming from Jess, who is our guardian of life, or known as her street name, Lifeguard. And she'll be the one that's actually helping us stay in flow, right? Because that's what life does. Life wants things to keep moving and things to keep changing. So when you hear Jess, she'll probably need to ring the bell a few times to kind of gather us all in. That will be the cue to gather and prepare for a performance. And next we have Andy, and I don't know if you've gotten to work with her yet today, but she is our water sommelier. She is our official taste tester to help us use our different senses to engage with this precious liquid that is necessary for life. And so definitely get a chance to stop by and work with her. And then we have Nona, who we're calling our creative midwife, because she is helping us re-engage our sense of creativity, and she has certain crafts that are actually working with scraps that came from the carpet that I wove, and so she'll be available to assist your creative birthing processes. And then we have Emily, who is our heart purifier. And she is helping us check in with our intentions and really understand how energetically we are sending out vibrations. And this has been shown through certain research that she has to share with you about intentions getting sent into water. And she has us kind of practice with a plant that is before us. And these women have been kind of my main partners and collaborators throughout this last 4 or 5 months. And it's been brilliant and amazing to work with them. Yes. And then I want to point out my two parents, Zohra and then Movahed, and they are, so in addition to being my parents and awesome human beings, they also are water engineers. And so it may not come as a surprise that I started out wanting to study creative learning, and then I ended up somehow making my way into water. And I will say, in addition to the technical expertise that they are offering for this project, they've also proven the adaptive capacity of water to find a solution to everything. Because they have been able, I mean, it was my father's idea to hold the showcase outdoors, and they have been, you know, completely central to being able to make this happen. Because if it were not for them, I would have had to cancel this whole thing. So I'm super grateful and so nourished by this support. And then we have Coley, who you see. Coley is our keeper of memories. Coley will be filming throughout the event, and if at any point you just don't want your face to be shown, or if you don't want your face to be in the footage that will be used, you can just find a quiet moment and just let Coley know. But the videos that will be created will be used, you know, for distribution about this project, my work, and for the people who've been performing in it to share with their friends and family. And Coley may be asking, like, while you're working on a little station or something, she may be asking if you want to share a little bit, and that way we'll have these kind of interview segments to interlay throughout the video. And this is the video is especially crucial, given that there are a lot of people who really wanted to participate in this event, but for various reasons are not able to be physically present. And then I wanted to lastly introduce Octavio, who is our sound sensei. And so Octavio has produced the full sound for the #change piece that we're going to be performing at 5:40. And unfortunately, given the adaptations that we've needed to do, we won't be able to actually have the full performance. But we've created a little sound booth where you can kind of go in and get a full taste of the 5 soundtracks that he created, inspired by the 4 phases of water. So you can get a kind of intimate artistic engagement with the 4 phases of water.
Highly recommended.
Yes, highly recommended. And so just to begin, before we kind of dive back in, I just wanted to offer a little swimming lesson. And so, you know, we're all coming from different places with different curiosities and different levels of engagement. And so if you're somebody who just wants to float, you know, you can just find a little floaty and just observe and kind of cruise around. There's no need to necessarily participate in anything. You can kind of float in and float out as you like. If you're really, really eager and want to kind of dive right in, you can, you know, put on your goggles, get your snorkeler out, and start participating in every single thing, and we are more than happy. And if you're really curious, you can ask questions, right? So of the people that I just announced, we've been a part of this process, and so you can begin to inquire and ask us anything that you'd like. Are there any questions before we dive back in?
And I just wanted to add, for every activity, we have hand sanitizers and disinfection sprays. So it's very clear if you've touched something, we immediately want to sanitize it and spray it just to make sure that everything stays safe. But everybody should use their own caution.
Awesome, thank you. So we'll kind of dive back into this little swimming pool that we've created, and you can begin to experience some